Chapter 4. We continue our journey. Welcome to Ash of the Gods. We are heading back towards the Scribe. Orland's Pass. A road running through the mountains valley between Asminen and here and the Journey's Tower. We continue forth. You feel the reaping growing stronger as shadow falls upon you. The curse that cripples your arm is heading to your heart. If you give up and feed some of your power to the enchantment, you can prevent the reaping from growing in strength. If you resist, you save your energy, and the dark magic will tighten its grip on the world. We're going to resist the curse. Resist it. The curse grows stronger. Tomorrow plunges into chaos. The plague rages, pitting people against each other. Yet you gather the energy to end its once and for all. Hopefully, it works. So that's the power. On the road, on the road or taking a rest, you can't shake the words in the town hall from your mind. Follow the Gilded One. Collect the 7 parts of wisdom. Read them and then be saved. You sit by the fire pondering the words' true meanings, and they mean to guide or ensnare. Why would someone curse you and then make your peace together counter spell? What's the point? And what should it possibly mean? The world is changing. People are rising up against the Reapers. An eerie bewitchment, an unknown sorcerer, and the darkness keeps creeping. You close your eyes, trying to remember everything you know about previous reapings. Nothing makes any sense, as though the difference in the air. Something mysterious is coming. It's also the hand. There's also the hand. The Scribe, you sleeping? What shall we do when we catch up to Thorn? We won't be able to capture someone like Captain Burna with our bare hands. I'm not looking to start a fight. I don't like this idea. Besides, they say drawing your sword against Thorn is a sure way to die. We'll think about it when we catch up to him. We'll be traveling to the nearest Mythmere, per your advice. And I'm not drawing my sword, not unless there's good reason. Whatever the case, I'll try talking to Thorn first. The man isn't so simple. What's to gain in being simple? I had a word with his servant and 10 years guy. When he was leaving town, the only thing in Thorn's mind was saving his daughter. Already lost his wife, and now he's only got his daughter. And his son's somewhere in the service. I think it's best not to stand in Thorn's way. Does Thorn have any benefactors? His father-in-law is supposedly a big fish, but they're not on speaking terms or something. Not sure. He's with an army now, I reckon. By the way, the servant of Thorn's name is Tenure. Sealed off his house and moved west, probably to his old master. He used to look after his daughter, but then managed to outlive her. His father-in-law is Count Soraki Ichi. Thorn's servant was out in his wagon when I saw him by the gate. He ventured to Opacum to visit the Count. The Count's a military governor now, so we're likely to meet Thorn in Opacum, if we can't find him sooner. Is Thorn really that good? Captain Binner is the legend of Odahala. He hasn't heard of the Mad Thorn, maybe the best swordsman in all of Burkana, a hero of the Gublanan Wars, a hero of the Northern Expedition and the Battle of the Southern Isles, though he grows much older since his last escapade. Battle experience is not easily forgotten. I don't think he'll be fighting back, sword or not. That's if Prince Ho is still alive, of course. I hope that's the case. Not only is Thorn an exceptional swordsman, he taught his daughter the same skills. I've seen her with a sword a couple of times. Girl's swift as the wind. So better talk to Thorn than cross swords. Will Trig come down if we find his son? I'd love to know that myself. I'm guilty of the same thing that made His Highness want to capture Captain Brennan. Had to kill a toll collector near the watchtower in self-defense. Well, at least I didn't borrow a prince. That's not the problem. If the ruler says something regrettable when enraged, he won't be taking it back, even once he calms down. It does not benefit a man of stature to go back on his word. Besides, Thorn's made quite a blunder in Albus. So many guards are dead. Well, we better catch up to him. You're right about that. The road's dangerous. I saw some footprints near the spring. A couple dozen cavalry went by just 2 days ago. The boots were definitely not from Barcona. They've got a strange heel print. I've seen it too. These were footprints of the Isern, and following man took their corpses to the Albus watchtower, right? Should have looked at the boots sooner. Israns or not, so what? Thorn and his men managed to hack them up, right? How are we any different, Hopper? The only thing is don't jump into battle, yeah? Your knack for tearing down towers won't help you here. Better to be safe. Don't want to upset the Cardinal, do we? Deal? Attaboy. Alright. I'll go see if they left anything else behind. You think hard about what you've learned. Thorn's keeps your curiosity by the minute. Now there's just finding him and learning how to manage to withstand the Reapers. Listen, Hopper, I don't quite get you. What are you? Are you a healer, a wizard, or whatchamacallit? A penman? I've even heard you also a baron, without residence most likely, and you're not young. How do you get by? They don't pay you a dime, do they? I captured Prince's Stern. When someone disappears, I'm the one to turn them. I may have no regular allowance, but should I find a prince, I'll have enough money to gorge myself. Should I fail, however, I'll best avoid the said kingdom for the next decade or so, if I want to keep my head attached. Still, I've been lucky so far. Want me to cut you in? No siree. Burka's a bit short on princes besides. It's quite a long way between kingdoms, and my boot are worn through. I'd rather stay by the Albus Gate, if I ever return, that is. Okay, let's continue our journey. I believe I think we're going north. Yeah. On the outskirts of the roadside village, you spot Neymar-like stone pillars. Many of these obelisks are erected in ancient settlements. The sick had already begun pilgrimage to the Maithmere for healing, and the temple wasn't yet prepared as nearly as powerful. In remembrance, you press 3 fingers to your brow, and then your lips, then to your heart. Karen stares at you wide-eyed. What's all the pointing? The 3 corners, the zigzag, the sign of the Tridrune? I've seen that gesture somewhere, but I can't remember for the life of me. Maybe Velda, worshipping his idol? Or the guards of Maithmere? What does it mean? Templars usually just bury their faces in their hands and grope at the nearest wall. Laugh it off. I'm warding off evil, you explain with a chuckle. This pillar here is a fake Maithmere, a superstition of old. Heretical, of course. So that's why I'm warding off excessive musing, stupidity, and evil spirits. God spare me from other men's blasphemy. He grins and shakes a mocking finger at him. Wait a moment. This zigzag gesture of yours is a superstition itself, is it not? You wink at it. It is, but a minor superstition compared to the Maithmere. If it offends the gods, let mine be a minor offense. Okay, we went... pretty sure north. Yep. Like, we're on the trail of where we passed by last time. Yes. You notice a man squirming at a loose noose. At the end of a noose. Either someone tries to hang him or he did it himself. Your companions rush to save the poor foil. You struggle and step aside. You shrug and step aside. And if you wanted to help, you'd just be in Kyo's way. Honestly, he doesn't need it. Investigate. Finding a rare and valuable plant encourages you to go further into the forest. You stumble upon bandits of the worst kind. The hanged man was bait for their ambush. You've no choice but to fight. I'm okay with this. Because we're pretty bad badass. Skill points. Oh yeah, just boom, boom. More damage? Heck yeah. Okay. They're just like, oh, come on, bandits. Stab, 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 stab. You stumbled upon the wrong person, bro. Alright. Wow. Come at me, bro. I have to admit, he is total badness. I mean, I would have ran away after he killed, like, the fourth guy. Like I said, I would have, as soon as you mount your horse after the battle, your companions find you. So it seems, the giant says, surveying the dead. The bastard wasn't hanging from his neck, but from his collar. I tried to help, but there was no noose to free him from. He almost stabbed me, and then he tried to hide in the bushes. He wasn't gone far. Nod. Since all has ended well, no good people were hurt, and the bad ones are dead, let's move on. We've lost enough time already. He's just like, whack, 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 whack. Thank you, please come again. I think, yeah, we went this way. We went in a circle. Pretty sure. You sense some sorcery connecting the reaping to the depths of the nearby forest. You order a rest stop and excuse yourself to make it to the source of the disturbance. In a secluded glade, you see a band of instruments. Their blades form a pyramid, and they're bathing in blood. Such an altar can fill the role of Mither when none are nearby. Kill them. Moving away from the trees and unsheathing your sword, you notice there's victim, a boy. A basket of mushroom lies nearby. Few things get to you, but children being murdered always fills you with boiling hatred. Unlock mental blast? That would be cool. Not sure what that does, but we'll find out. Okay. just see. Slaughter them all. I don't know why you would try to reason with them. I mean, they're covered in blood, and you're kind of like, yeah, I don't think that's how it's going to work. Going to kill you all. Oh man, he's super dead. Goodbye. As the last entrant falls dead, the blood of on the shards of lashing begins eating through the metal like rust. All the Eshin's blades are quickly reduced to dust, leaving you a feeling of strange relief. It seems as though some of your curse disappears with the Reaping's magic. Good news, but you shouldn't stay here. You need to get back to the road. Nice. Kill all the bad guys. Kill all the bad guys. Continue. You feel the reaping growing stronger as shadow falls upon you. The curse is crippling your arm and is heading towards your heart. Give in to the curse or resist it? Resist once again. The reaping grows stronger. Tomorrow plunges into chaos. The plague rages, pitting people against each other, letting you gather your energy. A man approaches you in a roadside tavern. He introduces himself as James. Are you the one asking about Thorn Brennan? He asks. I know the captain and I have some information about him. Might be worth some money to you, since you're looking for him. Looking into James' cunning eyes, you wonder if you can trust him. He looks like a crook. Find out if James really knows Thorn. Ask James some leading questions and realize that he isn't lying. He knows what Thor looks like, knows the nickname at Thorn, and even about his family. You can't tell if he knows anything valuable. Let's go ahead and pay the man. You and James agree on a price. He tells you that the Captain Burnham isn't as good as everyone thinks. He shirks the law and acts like he's better than smarter than everyone else. He even said things about the gods and royalty that get most people thrown in jail or put to death. Bid farewell to James, so that's what Thorn's old acquaintance says about him. He's being named Baron and receives the captain's insignia, fueled his arrogance. As for the royal powers of the gods, no doubt your opinion is any different. But some information is better than no information. So technically, he knows. It's kind of confusing because you're kind of like this character, and then this character, and then this character, and this. You approach the stockade and close a memory called the Arch. It seems like Thorn's been here. If so, has paid the price a visit too. You see dry blood and sword shards by the gate. One of the masks lies in the dirt. The gate is opened by a stocky, looming soldier. He scans your group with suspicion, finally resting his gaze on Arkin. The big guy dismounts, handing the guard his papers. You do likewise and approach the guard.
Hey!
Looking intently over everyone's faces. Good day to you, travelers. Being chief of the watchmen of this harbor, stockade. At your service, I shall gladly see your papers. Do you have them on hand? Do you have them on you? Hand them over here, please, and let's see what you are. Oh. Oh, that's not helpful. That's probably not the same line. You've been seeing Prince Teal Seal. Are you going to pretend you don't know who I am? I'll like to ask you several questions, Vergen. Answer me, and you'll forget that I was ever here. To start off, tell me, do you know Captain Thorn Burnin?
Aha!
True, I must abide by this seal of yours, but it's no excuse for threats. I've seen much greater threats, and so have my ancient comrade Thorn. He passed through here with certain company. Help us fend off the areas he did. Did Thorn have a blonde, green-eyed lad with him?
Ha!
Yeah, I saw someone like that. Looked mighty like Prince Hode, mind you. I hadn't seen him in a long while. But the two lads have a lot in common, I swear. What is Thorn's company like? Is it all warriors? Who knows? It's not like I bumped my sore ass on the saddle with them. They fight well, and the rest remains to be seen.
Aha!
One of his men turned to be a worthless bastard who caused me a lot of trouble. Thorn didn't even try to stand up for him. So if someone is a good warrior, he's not necessarily a good person. I have this Frisk in jail waiting trial. Did Thorn lose any men in the fight with the Esting? You could say so. One of his veterans was corrupted. He buried his kinnear on the hillside with the stockade, not in a local cemetery. The villagers are pious. They don't need something like that near their homes. What do you mean by corrupted? You're not making any damn sense. What's wrong with his kinnear? Well, will you tell me or not? I wish I knew magic like I know my rig and tackle. As it stands, I know shit. If you are so bloody curious, you have to go look for yourself. Maybe the gods cursed him, or some sorcerer corrupted him. Do you know where Thorn is heading to? Yes, the way to Ursus. So I gather that's where he's going. From here, it's either go to Ursus or go home. If I heard him right, he wanted to visit the Mithmir here. Who did he ask? Did he talk to anyone else in the stockade? I am the only one he knows here. He spoke only to his companions and maybe to the merchants. No, wait. There was someone else, a seer. She called herself Chila. There is a tent of her in Mithmir. Chila herself has vanished, though. Interesting. It'd be worthwhile to check the tent. It's not every day that you hear about a vanishing seer. I have no further questions. Oh, well, that was a dick move, huh? Let's go fighting even though people go and steal shit. Let's go to the grave. You decide to examine Kieran's grave and ask Venya to accompany you. It seems that he would rather join a battle or risk his life in some other way. But he is unable to decline your request. Reluctantly, he leads you up the hill. You find yourself in front of a recently buried and huge boulder on top of it. Chief Watchman spits on the ground. This is where my boys and I buried him, a good long distance from the village. Should have burnt him, perhaps, with all this started. I thought that the white mask abomination with his strange swords were the worst horrors of my life. I've changed my mind since. Kern shrugs. Why should I fear a corpse? Fear the living, that is for all those stakes for. And a huge body boulder on top of it? No, we are going to dig up the grave and bring up this corpsey by the toes. When Krieger's corpse becomes visible, your companions will recoil in fear. Even Nakula turns pale. The Varian wipes cold sweat off his brow. You approach the grave and, unabashedly, by the unsightly remains, document what you see as your traveling journal. Others look on unbent in fear and respect. Once the drawing is complete, you turn around. Not a single word from anyone. Everyone looks at you expectantly, but their fears are theirs to deal with. Man of letters, a chronicler looks like he is out of his mind, but without curiosity there would have been no chronicles. You see a beast, I see a victim of a terrible sorcery. What is the mark on his chest? What could have left it? Captain's insignia, what else? Gregor is the commander of the young soldiers and captain of the guards in Albus. Oh yes, he is the captain of it's the captain's insignia. Thorn took it. Almost burnt his fingers on it. That's how hot it was. This is both good news and bad news. It's bad that the sticks cannot protect you from the plague, but it's good that it does not absorb venom like Mimers does. Like the Mimers do. You may rebury the corpse. No need for stakes. Lucas believes that this is very necessary indeed. How is it isn't too terrible it isn't too much trouble. Please ask your strongmen to roll the boulder back onto the grave. I'll manage the stakes. Think what you may, but I won't want to scare them. Alright, please. Would you help us with the stone? There's no need to aggravate the local folks. Let them believe what they want to and fear that they fancy fearing. It does more good than harm when the reaping is afoot. No trouble at all. Truth be told, I wouldn't mind having a stone like that upon my own grave when the time comes. Just in case. According to Varian, the companion Thorn is in this prison. You mentioned that a certain Frisk was awaiting trial. Are you sending him to Ursa? What is his crime? He's caught stealing and killed Glenn the Potter. Glenn's family wanted him ripped to shreds, but they asked for compensation. Thorn refused to pay, but I have this Frisk whiling away time in the cell. On top of everything, I have to keep an eye on him. Thorn did the right thing, if you ask me. A criminal is in jail, and who is Thorn to judge him? What else is he supposed to do? Thank you! Thank you! What else am I supposed to do? Exactly. You want me to fight them and bust them out, or... What was I supposed to do, huh? I need this Frisk in jail like a hole in my head. He's sobered up now, and now he's crying like a baby. I keep 2 guards there mainly to keep our own folks from murdering him. What is Grin's family supposed to do? Who is going to provide for his children? That's a good question. Let me take this wretched Frisk to Ursa. Let me relieve your headaches of yours at least a little. There's a document that Prince Tees has compelled you and the other Kernton officials to aid me. You won't question the prince's seal, will you? As Frisk's head will roll. Such a shame. He is no villain. Just a fool who had too much to drink. Nothing can be done about that now. The haul Frisk out of jail. He believes he has been taken to his execution and looks completely dispirited. You can get either a word nor sense out of him. He keeps wailing and mumbling about something unintelligent. Ask L to look after Frisk. He may or may not be of use, but he should be taken to Ursa in any case. Ackland nods, and you put Frisk out of your mind for the time being. The tent. This is where the old seer rested. She foretold all the Ares attacks, for which I am grateful. Without her, we could have failed. And the seer has spoken to Thorn and then disappeared when we were fighting the Esses. She left some of her possessions behind. The tent is still here. Were her hands black by any chance?
Hey!
No, I didn't see any signs of such illness. She was wearing a dress with long sleeves curled at the waist, stone bracelets at each arm, but her hands looked clean. She made predictions, you say. What did it look like? How did she prophesize? Did she rant or chant? Are those any two different? No, she didn't do anything like that. More like she was raving, only that the guests right every single time. Stood over here, she did, squinting at the sun and then turning around and spoke. Be ready, Vision, she said. 12 arrows are about to skirt the edge of the forest, and it happened every time, just as she had predicted. Did she do any sorcery or mix potions? No. She just brought a save to help with the next ache, but claimed that it came from the Ursan table. It's already running out. What got me was that she kept chuckling under her breath with some fearsome look in her eyes. She also patted the Mythmere, but warned us not to touch it, and that warning wasn't groundless. What did she tell you, Thorn? Can you recall anything? Should I have eavesdropped on their conversation? That's below me. But it seems Chilla had been waiting for him specifically, him or his daughter. She spoke to her too, fast as a whip. Thorn's daughter listened. And I also recall them mentioning Hode and the lady healer from Ursa. Urus. You don't seem to enjoy talking to Chilla. She is not an old crone hopper. Half the village are old crones. And I know that they are what they are. Chilla does not walk, talk, or even smell like one. The way she moves would make even a young lass green with envy, so I reckon she is not human. But if I'm not human either, my back is not aching and I don't reek of old age. I used to stand at the gate with the toll collectors. I could see through any cart, but this chinchilla, she was like looking through a foggy glass. Could see nothing. She was reading my mind throughout the entire conversations. Not that my mind is full of thought, but still. And then she disappeared. She was here. The next moment, she was gone. The gate was closed the whole time. Alright, so I need to go now. If you've seen Chinchilla, tell her that Blanche is looking for her.
Aha!
A moment, dear. There's something else I need to tell you, but I can't remember what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. Is it about the double Mythmere? Wait. Have you ever heard the expression, one on the two? The two is what we nickname our Mythmere. People say, I'll meet you at the two, meaning the two Mythmere stones. Kind of funny, as you can walk the whole stockade from end to end in 5 minutes. What could this one on and two be? A sign, a ribbon, a mark? Hang on, damn over complicating Chinchilla. A moment you said Blanche, I remember. She didn't just pat the Mythmere, she scratched something onto its surface. Told me to mention it to Blanche whenever he stopped by. Will you go and have a look? It could be some kind of curse, mind you. It's too late for me to steer away from curses. I need to look this over. Hobbling, Vera walks to the Mythmere with you. I asked her what's the use in writing something nobody can see, and then she said, Unda knows what she is doing even when she is scribbling on dungeon walls. Whoever's meant for will read it, and if they don't, the inscriptions will vanish in a couple days anyways. It isn't permanent. Should it be that Uda was the healer lady from Ursa? You brush Vegan off on the mental note about scribbling on dungeon walls and examining the sacred stone. Indeed, there is an inscription and enshrouded in mist, just like the one in the Ouroboros bell tower. The inscription you still recall so vividly. The inscription is not easy to read. You will have to undo another person's spell. What will you get in return? The beginning of the phase will save you, or a second black hand. Read the inscription. Unweave the spell hiding the inscription. Before they fade away, the runes on the stone shine brightly and clearly. They remain etched in the stone. Take unto yourself that which you can take, for there are no one else to take it. Sweet! Got a skill point. Awesome. So she's not a bad guy. Or at least I hope she's not a bad guy. Anything else? Alright, it's time to go. As you are about to leave the stockade, Fred approaches you. I am no rebel, but I speak my mind. You are chasing after Thorn, but he has broken no laws and has done no vile deeds. That is what I believe. You smile. These days, everyone wants to warn me, but every other warning is a threat. I should probably get used to it. Let me bid you farewell, Vergen. I tarry here longer than I had meant to. Vergen nods, taking the reins of your horse and signaling clearly that the conversation is over. With a sigh, you dismount. Hang on there, I have to tell you something. Old age has gotten to me. Not my back, not my knees, but in between. But I remember that, damn it. What do you remember, Vegan? Spit it out. It's insoluble to muddy farewells with talk. Who cares about unscrupulous? It is the reaping is upon us, no matter how you spin it. It can't get any worse. I just remember something Chino said at the moment she arrived. I forgot all about it and subsequential turmoil. But now it has struck me like lightning. She may have been raving, but that's what she says. The wise will take no heart with the foolish. Will not hear. There are holes and holes. One bites, the other brags and moralizes. Talk to those who are eager to talk. Sometimes the tongue knows more than the head. That is all this is supposed to mean. I don't know yet, Vegan, but I will think about it. Good luck to you now. Don't be quick to judge your friends currently or formal. The days for that are yet to come. Nice. You leave the stockade. You seem to have managed to conceal the stalks of singing Kreger and its graves, but you are startled nonetheless. You have witnessed things more terrible during the previous reapings in times of turmoil, but it is only now that you feel prickles of genuine fear. This is the kind of fruit the last reaping brought elsewhere in 1,000 years ago. Those onsets who had from where the end up in Timberlium. These were the omens of the dying world, talons, fangs, and the overarching desire to rip unto your own kind. What could this mean now? The end of Timerium? Or could it be the awakening of one who turned your own world into a blazing hell? Where the charms of ringing bells, perhaps protecting Burkana from the horrors. You look at your blackened hand and find no answers. Your heart pounds heavily in your chest, filled with a feeling of inevitability.
Hope is like the sun. It turns red and goes out. Should we wait for a new dawn?
This is a good place to stop. I will see you folks in the next video. Chapter 5. Or 4. Chapter 4. Bye.